Welcome to Early Morning Catechism. What you have been looking at is a picture of a Muslim mosque, the place of worship. This one happens to be in the country of Iran. Today we are going to talk about the religion of Islam. It's different from Buddhism or Hinduism. Those religions were started hundreds and even a couple thousand years before the birth of Jesus. The Muslim religion, or the religion of Islam, was actually started 600 years after the birth of Jesus Christ in the country of Saudi Arabia. A man by the name of Muhammad, born in 570 A.D., became a sort of mystic, and over 23 years he claimed to have heard voices in different segments explaining to him about God and how to proclaim the message of God to the world. The thrust of his message was the unity, the omnipotence, the all-knowing and merciful God. And so the teachings that he wrote down from what he received through these voices were compiled together in the book that today we call the Quran. The Quran is really not that big of a book. Here is our Bible, and here is the end of the Old Testament and the beginning of the New Testament. The Quran is about this much of our New Testament. So in comparison to our Bible, it's quite small. However, people have learned to recite the entire Quran. It is the most recited book in the whole world. And every Muslim, I think, has the goal of memorizing the Quran in their lifetime. The people of the Muslim religion, or the religion of Islam, trace their religion back to Abraham, even though the religion got started 500 or 600 years after the birth of Jesus. Do you remember the story of Abraham? Abraham and Sarah were not able to conceive. Abraham had relations with his servant Hagar, and she bore a son, Ishmael. Eventually, Hagar and Ishmael were banished from Abraham's family, and they wandered out into the desert. The people of Islam will claim that their religion goes back to Ishmael. They believe that God has revealed himself in stages. That God first revealed himself to Abraham, who believed in one God. So monotheism was started with Abraham. Then God revealed himself to Moses through the Ten Commandments. Later on, God revealed himself through the golden rule that Jesus gave us. And then finally, God revealed himself through the instructions given in the Quran about loving one's neighbor. Or the Muslims will say that Israel, the glory of Islam consists in having embodied the beautiful sentiments of Jesus in definite laws. You can take that for what it's worth. Can you ever go beyond what Jesus said? I'm not sure. Well, I am sure. Okay. If we want to put the religion of Islam in a nutshell, we can say there are 5 pillars. Okay? 5 pillars. 5 things that are basic to the living out of that religion. The first is the creed. There is only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. That's their creed. And no prophet would come after Muhammad. Secondly, prayer. The Muslims pray 5 times a day, if possible facing the holy city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. And in a city like Jerusalem, a voice comes over a loudspeaker 5 times a day over the whole city to call the people to prayer. And they kneel down and bow toward Mecca. Third, they believe in charity, giving to the poor, reaching out to people. Fourth, they observe the month of Ramadan, a month of 30 days of fasting, eating or drinking nothing from sunrise till sunset. And lastly, if possible, every Muslim is to make a trip, a pilgrimage to Mecca once in their lifetime. So how does this religion relate to Catholicism? I can only think of Lent. When we say during Lent we're going to put special emphasis on fasting and prayer and almsgiving. How else does the Muslim religion compare to ours? And what are the differences?